Hello, how are you doing? My name is Ashley Kendi Mercilina, and it being 2022, it's an election year, and we just want to hear a few of people's views on how the elections are and what they expect. So today we are joined by a lovely guest. So please introduce yourself and tell us what you do and the things that you're passionate about.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the invitation. My name is Ruth Wangeci. I am an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, and I am passionate about life and everything that pertains to it. So, in terms of my work, my family, and also church where I serve. Yes.
So, like we've said before, this is an election year, and we've had a number of elections in the past. So, how do you think this year's election is different from the other elections that we've had in this country?
First, I'd say this year's election, people are more intentional. People want to know what does the incoming government and the different people vying, what they have to offer from all ranks, from the presidential seats as to the members of parliament, to the members of the county assembly. Yes, so people are more intentional about knowing what do you have to offer and how can I as a Kenyan citizen benefit from the incoming government.
Okay, so it's
Yes.
the intentionality that is being put in.
Yes. Yes.
So, as a citizen, as an advocate, how would you say that us having elections each and every year, particularly this year, how is it benefiting you? What's in it for you as an individual?
Well, when I think about myself as an advocate, I know off the top of my head that this year for sure advocates will benefit because we definitely are expecting a lot of court cases. So from an advocate's perspective, that's a plus for us. But I think also what I expect as an advocate, we know corruption is a rotten ill in this nation. So those are some of the things that I am hoping will change. We really need to eradicate corruption because we lose so much as a country. Yes, and something else, not just as an advocate, but also as a citizen, actually look forward to the nation growing, because there's so many times where when we get to election period or shortly thereafter, it's like the nation comes to a freeze. The nation, the economy, people don't want to invest, people don't want to do anything. Well, the atmosphere is very tense. People don't know, should I buy, should I not buy, should I just keep my investments, should I stock up everything just in case things go become like what happened in 2007. So it's usually such a tense atmosphere. So this year I'm expecting something very different, that after the elections, after August, we will move forward as a nation and as a government. Yes.
So, we are in a campaign period,
Yes.
and you've had a number of the candidates giving their manifestos. So, do these particular manifestos do they speak to your needs as an individual? And if they do, how? And if not, what is missing in particular from their manifestos in a general way?
Yeah, I know 3 of the candidates so far have released their manifesto. I know there's one that is pending in the coming week. But I think it's not too much focus on what is in the manifesto, because there are some things we know from the previous governments that have been there. Sometimes things are said but are not entirely delivered. I think the greatest concern is, will each party or will each candidate do what they have promised? You see, promising is one thing. I can read the manifesto, I can take it in, I can see this is the best candidate for me, but on the ground, will that be the reality? And then, as much as, yes, the president, people are looking, it's the top seat, so everyone's focus is on that. But for the government to be effective, all these other seats are equally important. So when you have nominated yourself to vie as a senator or as a governor or as a member of National Assembly, women rep, are you going to plug into the government to make sure what you've said as an individual aligns with what the president has? Yes, delivery of what you've said. So as an MC, if I am going, I'm saying this is my candidate, this I feel is the person for me, right? When it comes to these other seats, am I feeling this? Am I having the same feeling that this person who's in my ward saying vote for me, this is what we are standing for? Are they talking the same language? Are they intending to deliver? Are they going to deliver? Yes. So I feel like that is what is the most important thing, because I think after COVID, there's so much that has happened to this nation and to the people, which I feel we need to first grow. Yeah, I think we need to grow. The economy right now is not doing too well.
On that issue of the economy.
Yes.
So, do you feel even with the candidates that we have,
Yes.
do you feel they address that need, which the country is actually like yearning for, an economic kind of development and growth? Because economically, we're actually not doing quite well at the moment.
Yeah.
So, do you think even from what they're saying and from what you would speculate, would it actually address the economic needs of the country?
I believe, okay, though some have what I'd call interesting ideas, I believe every of the manifestos and every of the presidential candidates who've released them genuinely believe that what they've proposed will grow the economy. Genuinely, everyone, that's why they're so passionate about what they're releasing. And it's not and that's why I'm saying it comes to, yes, you can give me something good on paper, but will you actually deliver on what you've said? And I think that's the most important thing, because yes, we want to grow as a people, we want to move as a nation. Yes, so people are not looking for people actually, if I can phrase it otherwise, people want to invest in themselves, invest in their work, do the work, and grow and build this nation. Yes.
So, from you're an advocate.
Yes.
This is a question which I've actually thought of. So, I think most people don't know, but what is the role of the court, or let me say the judiciary, in regards to matters elections of this country? What is the role of the judiciary or the court in regards to the elections?
Now I know this, especially this season, will be very busy, because now immediately after elections, I know most people will not be satisfied, and the law provides that you can actually rush to court, especially if you have evidence and you feel this didn't go my way, or you feel there was foul play. So the number one thing is the judicial officers have to remain independent. Yes, regardless of which person you wanted to vote for, regardless of which party you are supporting, that should not give you a bias. You should be very independent. See, receive the information, see and handle the facts as they are. So we have a very critical role of maintaining our independence. And number two, because it's also, as I said, it's usually a tense time to make the decisions in the fastest and reasonably shortest time possible. Yes.
So much. So, considering the atmosphere that is there at the moment, and also the fact that we've said we expect that, we actually feel that this year's elections is going to be different in regards to the intentionality that people are putting in, despite in regards to the previous years. So, where do you see this country post August polls? Like, from everything that is happening, where do you see our country after the August polls?
First, I'd say peace. I genuinely do not expect or think that there will be any form of violence. I think no one wants to go back to where we were in 2007. So the first thing that I know people will maintain is the peace and order. But also what we are looking forward to is growing. Like elections don't come and then we are there, we are not moving, we are not growing. No. So those are some of the things that I expect. That one, there will be peace. Two, we will grow as an economy and as a nation. That we will. This being 2022, I feel like there's so much that we need to achieve as a nation, that we can't allow the election period to slow down. Yeah. So there's that we will move. The elections, we will come, we will go, we will make our decisions, and after the formal announcements are made, the swearing in ceremonies, we will actually proceed as a nation. We won't go round and round and stagnate as a nation. No. Yeah.
From our population, our census, we understand that the largest group of people in this country are actually the youth, and they form the largest percentage of our population. But in the same regard, we also know that young people are not quite effective, or they actually don't wish to vote. So, how would you encourage that young person who just sits in the house and is like, you know what, it's the same story, I'm not gonna bother myself, peace out, elections, it doesn't matter, like it's not important to me, as a, like it won't address my needs. They feel maybe they're too young, they're not old to vote. So what would you tell that young person who's just in that kind of space?
I'd say that it would be the worst decision that they'd make, because you see, when you don't wake up and vote, you've already made a decision. Silence is already a response. So my advice to them would be, find out what, even in your area, wherever it is that you live, there are issues. That's why we have the MCAs there. So what is it that your MCA has to offer? What is it that your area, the member of parliament, what is it that they have to offer for your area? So maybe now you think nothing will affect you, but that's where you're wrong, because tomorrow you will want to do something and then you will want to complain about the government, but the fact that you never went out to vote, you lose that right. You do not have a right to complain. So I would urge everyone, get information. You see, now we are in such a digital era that you can actually Google and find out, this is my ward, this is my area, who are vying, what do they have to offer, how can I benefit as an individual, not just now, because you see, the next elections will be in 5 years. So in 5 years, where do I see myself? What do the people that have already presented themselves, what do they have to offer that I feel can be of benefit to me? Yes, so think from that perspective. Don't think that this is for old people, I don't know, because within those 5 years you'll be surprised to realize that there will be something that will affect you, and it will be too late to do anything about it. Yes.
What I've actually gotten from your statement mostly is that silence is a response.
Yes.
You know, and most of us actually fall victim to the same, especially during our elections, because people are like, tunajua nani atashinda, ama they'll be rigging of votes, so people actually don't take the initiative to vote. So thank you so much for that. And lastly, what would you tell us, you know, like what other thing would you share with us, or what is your parting shot in regards to this year's election?
I think my parting shot would be, we are all Kenyans, regardless of tribe, regardless of where we're schooled, we're all Kenyans. And we want to grow as a people, we want to grow as a nation. Today you might need something that I'll be in a position to assist you with, and tomorrow it could be vice versa. So let us love our neighbor, let us maintain peace and order, and let us get the information and use that information to not just help you, but to also help those around you. Yes.
Thank you so much.
And thank you too.
Yes. And guys, like you've heard, like, let's take initiative. Our silence is a response, and for us to have a country that is actually growing, a country that is actually moving, we need to make a decision and vote. So please take the initiative and tell us also what you think in regards to this year's elections. Asante sana, Ruth. It has been an amazing time with you. And yeah, see you next time.